Welcome back to New Mexico Entertainment Television, where you continue to be in the know with all things events and entertainment in New Mexico. I'm Teresa Robinson, and on this month's episode, we'll be covering topics from our May issue, which is our entertainment issue. On this month's episode, we have actor Alonso Rappa, Juni Amie of the Freudian Slips, Midnite Concessions, drag performer Gemma Rhoid, and musician Barefoot Randy, who will also close out the show with a performance. Also, our community question, entertainment history, and our music minute with Karson City Rebels. So, let's get started. Alonso Rappa's passion for storytelling is driving his rising career in film and television, with roles in AMC's Dark Winds and the upcoming film Sovereign. We're excited to chat about his experiences and what lies ahead. Hey, Alonso, thank you so much for joining us tonight to talk more about this new season and what you have coming up.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited and happy to be here.
Wonderful. Well, I know a lot of folks are excited. It is the third season of Dark Winds. So tell me, what's it like being back, and how has your character evolved during this time?
Yeah, it's amazing. Season 3, awesome. My character Ernesto Cata, he is a Chicano boy, living in the 70s on the Navajo reservation. So it's a very specific time, a very specific place. I saw him as someone that is layered, curious, defiant, but also he is the victim in this season. So I had to play into that, being the victim. We do not see a lot of Ernesto in the present timeline, but his story carries a lot of weight throughout the season, and just getting to build that presence and that energy into this season of the show has been amazing, and now it's been amazing to watch on screen, which I invite you all to do on Sundays, AMC and AMC Plus.
Definitely. So I know you also have been busy with your new project, Sovereign, which is you're working on right now, and there is an amazing cast connected to this film. What has it been like on set, and what's it been like working with these actors?
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. The story itself is quite incredible. It's based on the true story of Jerry Kane and his son Joey Kane. Both see themselves as sovereign citizens, and they are involved in a police shootout where even the kid gets a gun and starts going at it as well. And so our director, Christian Suigal, took this story and made it a script and directed it as well. And it's been amazing. I mean, we shot it in Arkansas. First time in Arkansas. It's quite beautiful, and it adds a lot to the story, to the backdrop, just very raw and eerie to the story. And the cast, as you mentioned, is quite incredible. It's stacked. It obligated me to step up, and be on my A game all the time. And this shoot will always be special to me.
Well, I can imagine working with some of the folks you've worked with, that you've learned some lessons that you could apply to your acting career. What was some of the lessons you learned with this project?
Well, honestly, in both projects that we talked about, it's to trust the process. Both of these projects reminded me that you can prepare all you want, but once you're on set, it's go time, and just trust the preparation. It's done. It has to be there, and just be present. I think that's more important than anything. Just be present and trust the process and preparation, as I said. Also, as we saw, I did my own stunts on Dark Winds. And that was just a reminder that it is important to, take care of myself, take care of my body, and stay sharp and ready for anything. Anything that gets thrown at me on set, just be ready for that.
So I don't know how much you could tell us, but what other upcoming projects do you have down the pipeline?
Yeah, this is a special one. I am actually co-producing, and I wrote. It's called Dolly on Bishop. It's an indie film. It's Black Mirror. It's a psychological thriller. It takes place in an antique store with a young couple. We do themes of memory, identity, the strange power that objects can carry. It's eerie. It's crazy. It's weird. I like it. I'm really excited for this one. And I hope to bring it to New Mexico very soon in a festival run later this year or early 2026.
That sounds great. Well, Alonso, thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to everything you have coming down your way.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
We'll be back. The Freudian Slips bring custom burlesque experiences to the 505. The show celebrates the uniqueness and spirit of the spaces they inhabit. We're glad to have co-producer Juni Amie to tell us more about the troupe. Thank you, Juni, for being here tonight. It's great to have you back, and you're here at a different capacity for this interview. So we're excited to hear more about the Freudian Slips experience. So let's start with, how did this troupe come together?
It came together pretty organically. So Mimi, Mimosa, and I, like at shows and things over the years, have talked about experiences that we wanted to have in burlesque and in Albuquerque in particular, and like how we wanted to see shows be run. So we got together. She's really good with books and numbers and the things that I don't process well. And we decided to hook up with Violet Femme to bring in all of her very impressive artistic background and like really help give us more of a refined artistic direction.
Yeah.
And recently Rita Smut has joined us as well. She's given us a lot of energy and like momentum forward that we were kind of missing, and it's helped really gel us together.
So it does show how each one provided their own kind of input, whether it was energy, whether it was numbers, to make this troupe work. So when it comes to the shows itself, because you're offering this very unique experience, how do you go about crafting those shows?
Our shows are really all based first and foremost in being as inclusive and diverse and dynamic as possible. So all of our casts are pulling from queer communities and BIPOC communities. We're pulling in trans performers, and not only trying to keep very diverse in that way, but also diverse in the types of performances. So classic burlesque, the very weird neo things that some of us get into, various types of drag and belly dance and magic. We just want to keep our audiences really highly entertained from beginning to end.
So this is the question I get to ask that, I know you're gonna pull up that phone, but so my next question is, what do we have to look forward to? What are some of the upcoming events we have to look forward to?
So we just joined up with the Painted Lady Bed and Brew down here in Sawmill. So they're a bit of a take on a bed and breakfast, only they have the Ghost Light Saloon. So they have local brews, they create local brews.
Oh, wow.
They're really like beer and ghost based, which is super fun. And we have two different series that we're starting there. We are starting the second Breakfast Sundays, which are a laid back brunch series of just burlesque and variety. We're going to be doing those on Sundays, so June the 8th, August the 10th, and October the 12th. Mm-hmm. And then we are very excited to be creating an acadesiast murder mystery experience.
Acadesimus?
Acadesiast. That is the word that was created for burlesque. So it
Wow.
means burlesque.
But in a really fancy way.
But in a very fancy way, yes. So we are doing an acadesiast murder mystery series. We'll have 2 different weekends, each with 2 different shows. So one cast and storyline for the weekend in September, and a separate one for the weekend in October. And those are going to be like a full experience, a bit like going to a murder mystery party, or
cool.
yeah. But we'll have strippers. Yeah. How do you make murder better? You do it with strippers.
That could apply to just about anything.
Basically, yeah.
Well, Juni, before you head out, please let everybody know how they can find out more about your group and where they can find out about upcoming shows.
Yeah, so you can always find anything about us on Facebook or on Instagram. We are Freudian Slips ABQ. Our website is also freudianslipsabq.com. Everything is there, and we are starting an email list so you can keep on track with all of our upcoming events.
Wonderful. Juni, thank you again for coming in, and we are excited to see how far you guys go and what comes up next.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We'll be back.
My throttle is jammed wide open. My boiler's ready to go. You keep throwing coal on the fire, baby. It's gonna blow. You got me feeling like a hot locomotive, a thundering down the line. The way you're teasing me with your loving, babe, I'm going out of my mind. My heart's pounding full speed. I'm ready to jump the track like a runaway train. My love for you is like a runaway train. Well, the fire is getting hotter, but there's nothing that I can do, 'cause you keep flashing the green light to make.
Midnite Concessions was founded by 3 punk rock movie lovers with a passion for creating a one-of-a-kind theater experience in Albuquerque. They join us to share their story behind the group's beginnings and give us a sneak peek at the screenings coming up. Guys, thank you for joining us tonight to talk more about Midnite Concessions. You don't know how many times I kept saying confessions.
Yeah.
That's actually where it came from, was actually that.
But it fits perfectly well with what you guys are doing. So I wanted to start by asking how. How did it all begin?
Well, like, I host movies already for Darkroom Horror, as you know, and everything like that. And then this is one of my best friends, and he always wanted to do movie posters and everything like that. And so he did a couple for my showings at Darkroom, and then he was all, "Can we just do this and everything?" We talked to Keith, and it's really easy to do something at the Guild and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it kind of started from there. We started with Mars Attacks, and the whole idea was to be a little bit different from the other groups in town. We wanted to be more of an art-forward group and everything. So the idea was that we would always have exclusive art for our showings. And it just has kind of gone from there and everything. Now we're to the point of employing local artists or trying to showcase local artists and everything instead of it just being Kim doing it all.
Because I'm also sleepy, and I tattoo, I have a whole business.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love art. I don't love it all the time.
You need your break.
Yeah,
100%.
So I mean, frankly, we do our movie screenings at the Guild as well, and when it comes down to it, me and my bestie are the ones that we're just like, what do we want to see on the screen? So how do you guys go about choosing what goes up on that screen?
I feel like we fight a lot.
We fight
we generally will come up with a list of
personal things.
Personal favorites and everything like that, and then it just goes through the debate and everything, and everyone has a veto power and everything like that, so it has to be unanimous consent or it can be vetoed.
Unanimous consent. Here's the thing.
Well, it is because I mean there's some movies I wanted to show but so and so didn't think they would do well.
They're bad.
But it really comes down to we wanted to make sure that we were showing cult classics, like the movies that we love. Because the whole idea of the three of us is that we love films, and getting to show people movies is great, and getting to show them on the big screen, like a chance to see a movie that came out in the 80s that you probably weren't even born yet to see, and you'll never get a chance to see it on the big screen. We love being able to facilitate that. It's awesome. I love it. I ask at every showing, who hasn't seen this movie, and who hasn't seen this movie on the big screen, and generally the entire audience does that and everything. So I love it. That's my favorite part of what we do.
I absolutely understand. So what do we have to look forward to coming up?
Oh, shit. So actually, I want to give this to Devin, because they had to fight hard. I mean, the next movie you had to fight hard.
The next movie
I tried to
is
veto
mine.
it like twice. I think I tried to veto it twice, and I think it came down to that the one we wanted, the license wasn't available, so we pivoted.
Was it?
I don't know. Who fucking knows?
Anyways.
But
Yeah, so I run social media, so I'll answer this. No, I did really have to fight hard for our last movie, which was Lost Highway.
I don't know why you had to fight for that.
because David Lynch wasn't dead yet.
He wasn't dead yet.
I was the one
That's true. He was.
Rest his soul.
a David Lynch movie.
He did. Yeah. No, he did. This is a lot. What of our thing sounds like is we just yell at each other
pretty much.
and bicker until eventually one of us concedes because we're hungry or we just want to get this over with.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Such love.
So our next movie is
Our next movie is going to be Natural Born Killers. Which I almost vetoed because I haven't seen it, but I trust these guys know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
That was good. That was a good choice.
Yeah.
I'm just
And it was filmed locally and everything. I just think it'll be a great one to show on the big screen.
Yeah.
So when is this one screening?
This one's going to be the first Saturday of June.
Right.
This year, we got lucky enough to host all of our shows on the first Saturday of every other month. I'm not sure what that date is, but first Saturday.
Awesome.
Awesome. So wrapping it up here, where can people find out more?
I would follow us on Midnite Concessions. That's MIDNITE.
It's probably on a screen
Concessions
somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Right here.
we have Facebook and Instagram right now, and we post events on both.
And really quick, follow us because we're going to start having secret movies that you're not going to know what we're showing.
That is
We have made
awesome.
really cool events. We've pulled all the strings on the planet to get these secret movies. So the only way you're going to get the invite is if you follow us.
If you follow us.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you know what to do.
Right.
Guys, thank you for coming out tonight and
Thank
talking
you.
with
Thank you
us.
for having
I'm
us.
really excited to see what's coming up next.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back. Barefoot Randy has found a home in New Mexico, injecting his love of reggae into the community through events and performances. We're happy to have him on the show to tell us more about his journey. Randy, thank you for joining me tonight to talk more about your experience here in New Mexico and some of the things you're passionate about. So I want to start with first how you got involved in the entertainment and events community here in New Mexico.
I moved here back in May. so about a year ago, and I'm a musician, and I had a buddy come into town. He kind of forced me to get back on the horse and get back in the scene, and I was like, all right, okay. So I started with the comedy open mic nights and then a couple other open mic nights, and yeah, just it's like getting on a bike, you know. So
Yeah.
I got back on the bike here.
Exactly. And I know that the dreads is what for so long is what you were known for. That's gone. And also
yeah.
the feet known as Barefoot Randy.
Yeah.
Why do you feel comfortable?
I just do. I feel more. Yeah, I feel more at ease with my shoes off, you know, and I think I have large, wide feet, so it kind of helps, you know. They seem to keep getting bigger, but it helps, and yeah, that's how I got the name actually, Barefoot Randy, just because I like to play on stage barefoot. And an older musician was like, "We got a name for you. It's Barefoot Randy." I said, all right, cool. You know, that sounds like I'll run with that.
Oh, that's a good name and fitting. And one of the other things that you love is reggae. You're really passionate about that genre. Why is it so important for you to, bring that experience here?
I do love reggae.
New Mexico.
Reggae is it's the heartbeat, you know. It's the one music to heal them all, is what they say. Especially roots reggae, Jamaican reggae, and it's a story of perseverance, you know. And I feel like that's how I can relate to it. I've been through a lot, so the story of perseverance of the people who were brought over from Africa to Jamaica, you know, and how they became something more positive. And it's positive music. There's a lot of negative music out there that's not doing us too good as a society, you know, and so it's good for me to bring that here, you know, because
and you're doing it with a few events that are coming up. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, on May 8th, we have a Jamaican reggae band, couple artists, Dow Wayne and Rick Jam. Rick Jam is the headliner, and they have a whole band. They're on their way out to Cali Roots Reggae Fest, the biggest reggae festival in the country, and they're going to play, and they're stopping here in Albuquerque.
Cool.
You know, out at Revel Backstage.
And will we be looking forward to more events coming down the pipeline?
Oh yeah, so I do comedy shows as well. Once a month I do a comedy show at Stone Desert Consumption Lounge. And then every Thursday we do a variety show there, which is pretty fun. So you can catch all kinds of stuff. And then I'm planning about once a quarter to be doing reggae shows at Revel, and maybe even bigger, you know, we'll see what happens.
Well, you're definitely getting back on that bike.
Yeah.
So where can people learn more about you and what's coming up?
I'm on Instagram at Barefoot Randy B. Gotta have the B, and it's B-A-R-E, like no shoes. Not the animal. I've been getting that a lot down here, you know. Barefoot Randy B on Instagram and TikTok. You know, I don't really do other social medias too much, so.
Got it. Well, Randy, thank you again for coming out and talking with me. And I'm excited you're going to be closing out the show for us. So thanks. We'll see you back here in just a few.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. We'll be back. This is your New Mexico Entertainment in 60. Somos ABQ 2025, a love letter to Albuquerque, will transform the National Hispanic Cultural Center into a place where music, creativity, and culture collide in a kaleidoscope of color, movement, sound, and connection. Somos takes place on May 10th at the National Hispanic Cultural Center in Albuquerque. Tina, the Tina Turner musical, is an inspiring journey of a woman who broke barriers and became the queen of rock and roll, set to a pulse-pounding soundtrack of her most beloved hits. Tina, the Tina Turner musical, runs from May 15th through the 18th at Popejoy Hall in Albuquerque. The New Mexico Wine Festival is the premier wine event. Sample and take-home selections from over 200 wines crafted by New Mexican wineries. The festival takes place on May 24th through the 26th at Balloon Fiesta Park in Albuquerque. This has been your New Mexico Entertainment in 60. For more events and entertainment, visit nmentertains.com. Gemma Rhoid is a bold drag performer known for their unique performances. With passion, heart, and an unforgettable aesthetic, they light up every stage. We're excited to talk to them about their space in the New Mexico drag scene. Gemma, thank you for joining me tonight. I am so excited to have you here on the show. I'm glad you finally made it.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor.
Absolutely. I would like to start because you were probably one of the most innovative drag queens we have here in this state. So I want to start by asking how your journey began and how it evolved.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much. That means the world to hear. But I really started as a fan of professional wrestling, actually, watching luchadors. Yes, like
wow.
Rey Mysterio, Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, all of those. So seeing them in their colorful masks, colorful outfits, sequins, everything, the hair, from childhood on, that always amazed me.
Wow.
And so when I set foot into drag, it was almost just kind of natural for me to experiment with colors and shapes and everything.
So how did you find it difficult or challenging in any way for your drag to resonate and fit here in New Mexico with the drag scene here?
Honestly, not at all. We have such a fabulous drag community here. There's so much support, and no matter what style of drag everybody does, we're all just supporting each other,
Yes.
helping each other, especially in this moment, just making sure that we're all together as queer people, as queer entertainers. Because at the end of the day, we take off the wig, we take off the makeup and the lashes, and if you're lucky, you might see me cry mine off. But, you know, but behind all of that, there's people and there's artists and there's sensitive creators underneath all of that. So for me, I think I resonate with people who have a passion for art, who have a passion for performing and creating, and that's every single drag entertainer here in New Mexico.
So when it comes to creating, how do you go about figuring out what you're going to do with each number that you perform and create?
Absolutely. So it really starts, it's such an intuitive process for me, quite honestly. I start with a little herbal magic in the morning, and then I really just kind of think through my references and my points of view. So besides wrestling, I'm a huge like punk fan, metal fan. So I grew up going to Warped Tour and things like that.
Yeah.
So my numbers, my performances are all inspired by really moshing and the kind of DIY punk culture. So you'll see a lot of System of a Down, Slipknot, things like that. And then I just try to marry that with the creative art aspect of it, and I don't know, I'm kind of a hybrid of nasty punk everything and beautiful floral everything.
I love it. So where can we see you here in the next few weeks and months?
Yes.
Where could people go out to see you?
You can see me all over Albuquerque. I'll be out, but really, especially this next upcoming Pride season, I'm going to be booked every single weekend. So June 2025, if you want to see Gemma Rhoid, come support your local queer entertainers.
Wonderful. Well, Gemma, thank you again for coming out and talking with me tonight. And where can people find out more about you?
Absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram at Gemma Rhoid, GEMMARHOID, like a hemorrhoid.
Gemma, thank you again for coming
you.
out. We look forward to watching you this upcoming season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll be back. Thank you for joining us for this month's episode of New Mexico Entertainment Television, where you continue to be in the know. Join us next month as we cover topics for our June issue, which is our Pride issue. And tonight, closing out the show, we have Barefoot Randy.
It's been so hard for so damn long, and I've seen so many things turn out wrong, but I know I've got to stand up, teach myself to walk. 'Cause I'm still here after every fall. Said I'm still here, yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here, yeah, I'm still here. Even after all these years, said I'm still here. And I know now that you could never move me. And I see a future so bright, I've got to keep on moving. I know if I ever stop, I'll end up losing. So from my walk, I'll teach myself to run. 'Cause I'll be here until it's done. And I know now that you could never move me. And I know now the strength in my walk. And I know in this life I'll do so much more than just talk. 'Cause I'll be here after it all. Said I'm still here, yeah, I'm still here. Said I'm still here, yeah, I'm still here. Even after all these years, said I'm still here. And I know now that you could never move me.
For more events and entertainment, visit edmentertains.com.